The Smacies, SMAC TALK Podcast Guest of the Year goes to... Oh no, the Smacies are on today.
Viral business. The creators call it I'm schmacked.
I'm schmacked.
Getting schmacked.
I'm schmacked. I'm schmacked. Getting schmacked.
Well, Chris, it's called getting schmacked.
Thank you everybody. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thanks to the whole audience tonight. Thank you to everybody. I'm delighted to be here. For anyone that doesn't know me now, what the hell are you doing here? This is the Smacies. Yes, I know. Thank you. Let's all just take a moment to relax, please. No, seriously, shut up. Thank you. It's my turn to speak. Okay, thank you. Now that we're all settled down. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural Smacies Award Show. For anyone that doesn't know what this is the SMAC Talk Podcast Award Show to celebrate the best moments, the best guests, the best chat, the best crack of all the podcasts that we've had this year. It has been a phenomenal year for SMAC Talk Podcast and SMAC Talk Enterprises, which isn't actually a thing. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank the sponsors. Glad we got that out of the way. Yeah, it's been a fantastic year for myself. As I said, I would have loved to produce more podcasts this year, but through the battles of coronavirus and me being lazy, towards the end of the year we started off. So I thought we could commemorate what has been a fantastic year for my podcast and the SMAC Talk production team, which again doesn't exist. To celebrate that, we'll have an awards show. So without any further ado, guys, welcome to the Smacies. So our first award of the night is a big one. It is Viral Moment of the Year. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Brilliant, isn't it? So, Viral Moment of the Year. We're just going to go straight out with this one. Haven't too many contenders for this one because there's one that absolutely stole the show. Top secret. Woo! So I'll just open this up and we'll find what it is. So the winner of the Smacies SMAC Talk Podcast Viral Moment of the Year goes to the Gaz clip. Woo! We'll run the clip. Meeting celebrities is a weird thing. I remember I used to work in Subway. I think I was 16 at the time, and none other than Mr. Gaz from Geordie Shore walked into Subway, and this is peak Gaz, Geordie Shore, and I was like, oh my god. And the girl working beside me was 17, and she I was a mess, but she just crumbled. And there's no one else in the shop, and he came in and he's like, "Can I have a foot long with meatballs?" And the girl beside me just goes, "Of course." Does everyone had crumbled. I made a sandwich, was shaking, the lettuce was just going everywhere. I didn't know what to do. And then she got to the till, and you have to during a card machine, you have to type in the number. It was £5 or something like that there. She charged him 5p, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'll get the rest." And all. She was just completely crumbled. But meeting celebrities is the maddest experience of your life. You just
it's so strange.
There was many reasons why that clip got clip of the year. First and foremost of all, it was the most viewed clip we had on the page. Second of all, none other than Mr. Gaz from Geordie Shore responded to the clip, shared his story from the clip. The worst part of this story is that whenever this page was created, the Instagram page was created for SMAC Talk, it only had one other post on it. So shout out Mr. Gaz for sharing the page, but we had no other content on it at the time. So there you go, guys. There's our first word of the night. Viral Moment of the Year, the Gaz clip. Okay. Great to get our first award out of the way, and we're now officially up and running. We're going to introduce our second award from the Smacies. This is a great category, one of my favourites, I have to admit, and it is the How Did We Not Get Cancelled Moment of the Year. Yes. So even if it was a close run thing, I'm going to relive that exact moment and see if we get cancelled now. To all 10 people that follow me, I'll be able to tell you personally where I am and what happened if we do get cancelled for this. One of the great stories we had in for Almost Cancelled the Year was a very close round thing, but didn't quite make it, was Kieran Franco's fantastic story of how he didn't sell one of the members of the UDA Love Island set, which to me was one of my funniest moments of the year, I thought, but didn't quite take the point to How Did We Not Get Cancelled. The How Did We Not Get Cancelled moment of the year officially goes to the Kevin McAteer episode where Sean tried to compare Nazi Germany to modern day life. Do you want to see the clip? Here we go. Nazi Germany. Shout out Nazi Germany. And I'm joking. But here's why. Because Hitler and Nazi Germany, right? I am getting into dodgy territory here.
Oh boy.
Here we go. But what the Nazis did and what Hitler did, and to my knowledge, is the first case of when, not the first case, but was really sort of, say, censorship really came about, and controlling the media. That was a huge part of their campaign, and controlling the mindset of really
book burning and stuff.
Yeah. So a massive nation and a massive campaign and censorship, and that was just obviously, you know, through the old form controlled or waves of controlled TV.
Whatever was available at the time. Yeah.
At the time. And that same, I think if you've studied history and you've studied sort of Nazi Germany, which obviously not everyone fucking has, but I don't know, but I think you see a lot of relations between what they're doing now,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff come into like the modern day in terms of like what's happening with the media in terms of their censorship. And
It's coming in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get the fuck out of where I am. Let me get back out of that. Fantastic award. Well done, Sean. Well done. Brilliant podcast on that right there. We're now on to our next award of the night. This is a big one now. This is one of the ones that get the most fan votes in. We have Listener of the Year. Yeah, I know. Interesting, spicy. Who's it going to be? We don't know yet. A lot of votes in for this one for Listener of the Year. A lot of people nominating themselves for Listener of the Year, which I appreciate, but kind of defeats the point. Our Listener of the Year goes to a very special friend of mine, a near and dear friend of my heart. Been friends since no age. He's been following me on this journey throughout the beginning, the start, and hopefully to the very end he'll be following this. Great friend of mine, great lad, and the Listener of the Year goes to, let's get our envelope back out here, folks. Listener of the Year goes to Anthony Crowley. We did try to get a special word with Anthony, but unfortunately he's still trying to finish his veterinary degree, so one day, Crowley, between all the listening and all the veterinary crazy things you're doing, we'll get you in for a special award. We'll get you to fully accept the imaginary awards that we've made, okay? Thanks very much for listening, Crowley. You're an absolute gentleman. Hope you enjoyed the podcast that are all to come in the future. Okay, so next up we've got our favourite clip of the year. So we mentioned our most viral clip earlier. This is the fan-voted favourite clip of the year. This is a very special award because it comes with great territory. This clips of the year are very handy for the podcast because we use them in video formats, and it just makes for far better entertainment. And everyone that watches the podcast lets me know about how much they appreciate the video version, and no other moment could have won this award. There was one moment in particular that I think just stole the show. If anyone knows anything about podcasting, audio is so important. So any sort of buzzing noises in the background or any sort of distractions would really put you off your game. Let me get my top secret envelope back out again. The winner of this award was none other than a fantastic episode with Sasha Donnelly. Sasha Donnelly's episode. Roll the clip. Holy fuck, there's a wasp in here.
Oh my god.
We're going to have to take a dramatic break. Get him out. There we go. Fucking God. Open that doors. Did I? He's dead.
I think he's not going to get up.
This is the most dramatic break I've ever had to take. Sorry everybody, the wasp came in there and I had to run over it. I'm like,
A few moments later.
Oh my god, there's another one.
surely not. Fuck off, like. You don't see what happened to your mate. I would freak out if he comes anywhere near me, I'll start freaking out. Where'd he go? If he comes back out, we'll jump
Yeah,
him.
we can jump him.
Oh wait, he's right there.
Was he?
Fuck off. Yeah, he's ruining my good podcast.
Nah, I would
Fuck wasps.
definitely be the exact same.
Right,
Away
sorry,
from my uni.
another wasp. Yeah, so university. So as I was saying, shout out to that bee who is firmly dead. That's great sportsmanship from the bee, and well done on stealing all of the fantastic moments on that podcast with your invasive fucking buzzing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. The big awards. The two next awards is episode of the year and guest of the year. These are the two big ones, and we have this year. For the first ever one, we have two separate winners, okay? We actually opened the voting for this since the podcast begun, which technically just over a year and a bit. So it said of the year, but you just get where I'm coming from. The first one we're going to do is episode of the year. Now, there was a couple of fantastic episodes, and I'd like to thank all my guests for coming on. I love each episode just as much as the last one. And I genuinely say that hand on heart. It's always a fantastic time to anyone that takes the time to come on the podcast and chat with me. I genuinely love nothing more. But for this, there can only be one winner of episode of the year. And this was just as popular, if not slightly more popular, than guest of the year. Okay? And it was a very close round thing. Very, very close. But unfortunately, there can only be one winner. And the winner, let's just check our envelope. Again, it's the same envelope, but we'll just, for dramatic effect. And our winner of SMAC Talk Podcast episode of the year goes to, drumroll please, a little bit more suspension please. The SMAC Talk Podcast Smacies Award for episode of the year goes to none other than Mr. Sean Lane, Beulah Wash and Violet. Congratulations, Sean. It was a fantastic episode. People just seemed to absolutely love the fact that it was like two fellas from schools they knew local people really, really enjoyed this episode, the people that live down in Uri, and just how you'd made such a success, and people were just blown away with the feedback. I got great feedback on the episode. People loved having you on as a guest, and a well-deserved, I must say, episode of the year. Fantastic work done there, Sean. Congratulations, and all the best with your business in the future. If you haven't checked out Sean's stuff, go check out Beulah Washington Valley. He is absolutely phenomenal at what he does, and his conversation and crack is top notch as well. So very, very well deserved episode of the year. Next up is our final award of the night. This is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. The one you've all been waiting for. The Smacies SMAC TALK Podcast of the Year. Let's just give it a minute. Get the crowd built up here. Okay, right, settle down again. Settle down. You're just getting line. This is the big moment, guys. This, again, with episode of the year, we were swamped with people sending in their recommendations. Our page has about 700 followers, and the amount of requests we got in comparison to the amount of followers we have, made absolutely no sense. Made no sense in this one. There's a couple of really close mentions. Some of the real good contenders for this one included Kieran Franco, Kevin McAteer. People really, really seem to love the episode of Sean Lane, which got episode of the year, but as if you've been listening carefully, might not be him, okay? But there could only have been one winner. The fans have voted. I had no vote in this whatsoever. It was all fan voted for guest of the year and who they enjoyed the most. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, let me grab my envelope one more time. I know who it is. The winner of the Smacies SMAC TALK Podcast Guest of the Year goes to... We interrupt this very, very quickly. Before I say the winner, I would just like to shout out one more thanks to our sponsors, which we don't have any. So, before I announce the final guest of the year, I would like to remind everybody that if you've enjoyed the podcast, if you've liked it, we do have a PayPal link on Instagram, down below in the bio as well. So if you'd like to help out the podcast, keep the lights on, keep all this going into the new year, you know what you got to do, okay? Any donation at all is welcome. But back to it, ladies and gentlemen. The Smacies SMAC TALK Podcast Guest of the Year, for the first time ever in our inaugural Smacies competition, fan voted by you, the public at home, goes to Mr. Damien Gilvery. Congratulations, Damien. Unfortunately, Damien couldn't be with us today because he's a nightmare to get hold of. Congratulations to Damien. A fantastic episode. Even though we did it on Zoom, we didn't even have a face-to-face conversation. People just absolutely loved you, loved hearing from you. I'm pretty sure it was one of the first podcasts Damien actually appeared on. And I could say, Damien, well deserved. I'd like to say a good friend of mine still as well. Always reaches out, always in support of the podcast. So fantastic person. A very, very, very well deserved winner of the Smacies first ever guest of the year. Enjoy it, Damien. You've deserved it. You've worked so hard. Congratulations. We've loved having you. We'd love to have you back on. We'll get into that another time. But yeah, guys, if you've enjoyed the Smacies, let us know. We'll do this all again next year. It was great fun. There's more podcasts coming in the new year. We haven't gone away, We will be back. We will be back having more conversations in the new year. This has been one heck of a journey. We've had so much fun doing this. The Smacies is just a wee thank you from half of me, your host, Sean McAlevey, for continuing to support the podcast, continuing to listen, and for all the guests as well. It's been an absolute brilliant time hosting this podcast. But that's going to wrap us up, folks. That's the end of the show for tonight. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, throw some money in the bucket on the way out, do all that there good stuff. Hope to see you all again very, very soon with more podcasts, more SMAC Talk, more Smacies next year. I'll see you all again in the next one, guys. Good luck. How the flip do I turn this here thing off? What the hell?